So, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks so much for being here to learn more about our Business Builder program with Community Futures Manitoba and Saskatchewan. My name is Stephanie Den Hollander, and I am the program coordinator with our Entrepreneurs with Disabilities program here in Saskatchewan and Manitoba. You'll also see in the chat today that we've got my manager, Susan Bader, here. So she'll be here just kind of answering any questions and helping anyone if you've got some inquiries, either some tech support or questions as we go through the session. She'll be there to help answer those questions. So welcome here. I want to first begin by, acknowledging I'm joining everyone here today from Manitoba. I want to acknowledge that I'm on the ancestral lands of Treaty 1 territory, traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and on the national homeland of the Red River Métis. I want to acknowledge for everyone joining us in Saskatchewan today. You've joined us from your treaty territory and also acknowledge the traditional homeland of the Métis and honor the contributions of all people. So as I'm just going to jump in and get started, what it's going to look like today is we'll have about a half an hour of a presentation where I'm going to, walk you through telling you all about our Business Builder program and the opportunities and the supports we have available for entrepreneurs through Community Futures and particularly our Entrepreneurs with Disabilities program and what that's all about. Please feel free to type a question in the chat or a comment along the way. We will have time after the presentation I'll stop the recording and I'll open it up for questions and discussion so I can address those issues in the chat if there's anything that we want to chat about, but also if you have questions or you want to bring kind of just some personal or scenarios regarding your business, we can chat more about that and help plan for next steps. I will be sharing information during the session that may be referring to links or areas of resources and tools on our websites. Don't worry too much about, taking pictures or writing down the links because I am going to send a follow-up email after the session with the recording to the session so you can share it with other people, but also all of the links to all of the tools, references, applications that I'm talking about in the session. So you won't have to worry about keeping track of that. If anybody needs any accessibility accommodations or you're having tech issues, please type that in the chat. We'll be happy to assist you. I do have the captions on if that's helpful for anyone as you are following along with the session. So as I'm getting started, I'd love to get you guys busy in the chat and just maybe, if you're comfortable, sharing where you're joining us from today, kind of where you live, either, the town, province, where you're at, and maybe a little bit about why you are interested in attending this session. What are you hoping to learn? What are you excited to, share with us? Are you a new business owner? Are you just in the idea stage? Or are you a seasoned business owner looking to add more resources and connections to your network? We'd love to hear where everyone's from, so feel free to pop that in the chat. So as we're getting started, I like to just introduce and showcase a few of the entrepreneurs that we've supported in our Business Builder program so far. So the program has been running for 3 years, and we did get an extension to open intake to have another year of services and up to 43 more entrepreneurs. So intake is open right now, which is why you've come at the ideal time to learn about this program and see if it's a good fit for you. We've had 75 entrepreneurs go through the program. These are people living across rural Saskatchewan and Manitoba and have had great success. And we've evolved the program and added more supports, as I'm going to share with you today, as we've learned more and been able to offer more to people. So we'll just showcase a few of our entrepreneurs in Manitoba. We've got Debbie, who owns Talking Body Laser Aesthetics in Stonewall. We've got Les with Norman Risk Consulting up in Flin Flon. And we've got Esther of Middle Earthian Crochet in Brandon. And in Saskatchewan, we've got Maddie. She's the owner of Good As New Detailing Services in Yorkton. Mandy Keenar, Moonrose Holistics and Beauty out of Lake Lenore in Saskatchewan. And we've got Michael Sieber. He owns Elite Auto Repair Limited in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. I wish we had time to showcase everybody. So first, I'll give you a bit of background about Community Futures. You may or may not have heard about us before. So Community Futures is, a national presence. We've got 267 offices across rural Canada. We're all nonprofit organizations, and there are 16 offices in Manitoba. and they're all governed by a volunteer board of directors. So you can see here in Manitoba, if that's where you're joining us from today, kind of based on what area you live in the province would be where your regional office is. And then in Saskatchewan, there are 13 Community Futures offices, and you can see on the map here, kind of based on where you live. And our Entrepreneurs with Disabilities program specifically operates in 90 offices in rural and 6 urban offices. So myself working in both Manitoba and Saskatchewan, that's 29 offices. So we do provide support across all areas of both provinces in our EDP program, and we work alongside the staff at our Community Futures offices in each of these regional areas. So our services, we do offer one-to-one business consultation. So that's the opportunity for you to come in, share your ideas, chat with us about the vision for you and your business, what you want to do, and receive support to just kind of learn about the market, the industry, kind of what your competitive analysis is, just some insights and kind of sharing, exploring what you're looking for in your business. We also have great tools and resources and support for business plan development. A lot of times that's one of the most daunting and maybe overwhelming tasks as a new entrepreneur or a seasoned entrepreneur, but it's a lot of work, right? It can feel overwhelming to develop that business plan. So we've got support and we've got great tools to kind of help break it down into smaller, manageable kind of sections to help you so it doesn't feel so overwhelming. And then anything that you need some extra help with, we're here. We have lots of business resources and training. And then Community Futures is what's called a developmental lender. So we do have access to repayable loans for viable businesses. And if you wanted to learn more about that, that would be through your local office, and I can help make those connections for you after the session today. So specifically, the name Entrepreneurs with Disabilities program, what does that mean? We get that question a lot. And do I qualify? What do you need to be able to qualify for your services? Well, we like this quote from Rachel because she really encompasses what we do and why we exist and why we offer the support that we do. She says, don't let your health concerns get in the way of fulfilling your dreams. And so in our EDP program, that's what we call it for short, so you'll hear me refer to it now as our EDP program, we do offer support to entrepreneurs living with disabilities and health conditions. And the definition of a disability or a health condition and what makes you eligible, it's just a checkbox. It's just a self-declaration. We don't require lengthy medical documentation or anything like that, which can sometimes be a barrier for people to access services. So that's not a barrier to work with us. And anything that you share regarding your health or any disability-related needs or accommodations, supports, are all through that positive lens that the more that we learn about you, the better able we are to offer support and resources that are going to benefit you. And that's so important because self-employment is an incredible option for people who are living with a disability and managing their health. And the definition of that could be anything from asthma to anxiety to having a mobility need, vision loss, hearing loss, being a cancer survivor, diabetes. It's basically whatever you define as what you manage for your health on a day-to-day basis and in your routines, and things that you need to be aware of and plan for as you're starting your self-employment endeavor or maybe growing, expanding your business. So a very broad range, and we try not to let that be a barrier. So before we get into the type of services and specifically the Business Builder program, I want you to just take a minute now. If you're joining us as an entrepreneur, either thinking about entrepreneurship and self-employment as an option for yourself, or whether you already are an entrepreneur and you've got maybe some plans for growth or a new business idea, or maybe you're here as a service provider and you're learning about how you can support the people that you work with to develop a self-employment plan. So whatever fits for you and why you're here today, I want you to think about, if you're an entrepreneur, imagine what you want your business to be 5 to 10 years from now. Just think about that. Think about the positive impact that you want to have on your customers and your community. What is the legacy that you want it to leave behind? If you're a service provider and you're here to learn more about supports for self-employment for entrepreneurs that you know, think about the work that you do and what you can offer as opportunities and support to entrepreneurs in their self-employment journey. What kind of a positive impact do you think that would have on the economy and your community and the people that you're working with? What's the legacy that that could leave behind through your work? And I'll tell you about why I wanted you to start thinking about this before we get into the content of the presentation. Because that legacy, that's your why. That brought you to even register for this session. That brought you're excited, you're thinking about things. All of that momentum
More
is
like
building.
curiosity.
The more that you think about what that legacy is, the why you want to do what you want to do, either to start that new business or to grow an existing business, putting yourself out there, that's the foundation that's motivating you. And that's your why. So the more that we think about that, when our why gets stronger, sometimes that helps the how feel a little bit easier. That can get easier when we think of all the things we have to do in order to get there and to build that legacy. And so part of what we do is we're showing up in the how. You come with the passion, the vision, your why, and we help with make some of that how easier for you through our services, through our supports, through our tools and resources. So that's where we want to start. So for our Business Builder program, entrepreneurs in the program are learning new skills all about business. Having access to support services, you're able to bring new businesses to your community and also contribute to your local economy. So in the program, it's basically structured as a 6-month program. So it's different from our services that we usually offer through our Community Futures offices and our regular EDP program services, in that you've got a lot more structure, but also a lot more supports built into it. So it's a great fit for some people, and it's maybe not the right fit for others, just kind of depending on what types of commitments and timelines that you have, in your personal life and other things going on. And ability to, of course, prioritize and manage your health and well-being, which is the most important. So I'll talk a bit about some of the supports that are available in the program. So we have business supports. So when you're starting in the program, you've got a viable business idea. You're kind of ready to jump into action, learn the things that you need to do to be able to get your business off the ground and then successfully operate your business. So we have added supports put in place while you're participating in business training and group sessions to learn more. We want to make that as accessible as possible for everyone. So everyone that is accepted and intake into the Business Builder program receives a vocational assessment that we pay the cost to have you meet with a vocational assessment coordinator so that they can explore what your health related needs are and create a plan and recommendations for us for how we can accommodate and support you while you're participating in the program. So things that might come in those recommendations are we have travel dollars. Knowing that as rural entrepreneurs, and I think if you're with me now more than ever with the price of gas, it can be quite significant and a barrier. If you live, 45 minutes away from your local Community Futures office, but you prefer to meet in person, it might be challenging to do that. So we do have travel dollars to help compensate you so that you can pay, for gas to get to meet with our Community Futures team at their local office. So just another helpful support. We also have accommodations for disability or health related needs. So those would be things I can share some examples, real life examples with you. Coming from that vocational assessment, an individual living with hearing loss, we were able to provide him with noise canceling headset so that when he's in group sessions and on the online training modules, he doesn't have any background noise or anything distracting him. He has full access to the audio in those sessions. And it was an incredible support. We also have support for individuals living with ADHD, just kind of to plan and organize and have all of that information and structure, themselves and their routine while they're going through the program, because it's a lot to kind of coordinate and manage. We've got supports for them to work with an ADHD coach to help build those structures and processes into place to help them be successful in the program, but also beyond. Things also like mental health counseling. What I really value in this program is that we have funding to provide private mental health therapy to participants in the program if that's part of a recommendation that you would benefit from while you're going through the program. And why it's great that we can offer that private counseling support is that you're not going to need to have a referral from your doctor. You don't have to be on a lengthy waiting list through a public health system. And also, an added benefit is that you get to choose the provider that you work with based on someone that you feel is a good fit for you, and also what their area of expertise is that would be most helpful for you. You're not just assigned someone through a public program or, a disability benefit family assistance program type model. So that's been a huge benefit to so many people in the program so far, and it's helped them, while you're learning new things and you're adapting and you're changing. It's really exciting, but it can also cause some challenges. So we have that there as a proactive support to help you manage your mental health, because you are the foundation. The most important part is you, and your business is an extension of you. So that is really the philosophy that we work from. And so we really want to build in those supports that are most helpful for you. We also have childcare or dependent care. And that can be a huge barrier, especially in rural areas and access to childcare. But being able to focus on your business plan development and training and getting everything set up, to have the time to be able to dedicate to that while having someone you know and trust to be able to provide care for your children. Or if you have, an adult dependent that's in your care, either an aging parent or a dependent with some additional needs in your household, to just give you that freedom and a little bit of flexibility in your time. So we're able to pay a private childcare provider based on that recommendation in your vocational assessment and just time working with you. So lots of supports. And again, I could share lots of examples, but everyone's individual journey and supports will look different because every person is different, and what needs would be, most helpful for you and the supports that we can put in place could look a little bit different for everyone. But we learn, so the more you're comfortable sharing through that assessment process and working with us, then the better able we are to show up where you need us the most and make those accommodations for you. And this is amazing because it is through the funding available through this program that we're able to build in those enhanced supports that we don't typically have through our regular EDP services working alongside our Community Futures staff. So that's what kind of stands out through the Business Builder program. Then you have your business plan development. So while you're going through the program, you're going to be completing business training and developing your business plan along the way. So you'll work alongside our Community Futures staff to develop your business plan and your cash flow projections, and then how you put it all into place. So implementing it, taking action, and getting your business launched and off the ground. We've also added business plan support group sessions because we got feedback from entrepreneurs who wanted some enhanced support, more time to work on their plans, some structured sessions to work on their business plans, as well as to share ideas and kind of use the group with other entrepreneurs in the program as a focus group, or maybe asking questions, getting different ideas from people in different areas and different industries has been tremendously valuable for so many of the entrepreneurs. So we're continuing with those sessions as well. So you've got lots of support, people walking alongside you while you're doing your business training, while you're completing your business plan, because sometimes entrepreneurship can feel lonely or isolating. You're doing all the things, especially if you're a sole proprietor. And so you're not meant to walk that journey alone. So we like to say and talk about our program as though we're there to walk alongside you, right? To be a part of that journey with you and support you along the way. So the business training that we have in the program, it's kind of in a couple of different parts. So the first part, we have our online Build a Better Business program. So this is a 10 module self-directed business training program that really gives a solid foundation. It's like business 101. So everything from business startup and business plan development, right through to branding and marketing, financial records, taxes, basic bookkeeping skills, some of those things that not a lot of people like to do, but we have to do, right? So having the information and the support to learn those things, gain those new skills, and then we kind of bridge that gap into what you've learned in the online modules. Now we kind of start to bring to life in your business plan and what that means for you and your business, but also what that will look like and talk through, in actual practical real life ways for you. So we do that through our group sessions in our business incubator training. So that is a 6-week business incubator program that you're with a facilitator, we have guest speakers, and we work through kind of everything that you've learned, building your confidence to get ready to move into that launch stage. Well, now you got to action all the things that you worked so hard to plan for and think about and bringing your vision. And then now that's the springboard into bringing it to life. And so we work alongside you in that process. And you're also in a community of support. So just through the program in and of itself, being in the group sessions gives you that sense of community and belonging and connection with other entrepreneurs who may live in a different province or a different area, may have a completely different business idea, but you have some common shared experiences maybe and can lean into each other for support and empowerment, and also that accountability piece of showing up every week and having that structure helps to keep things moving forward. And then, of course, your business launch. So once you've completed your business plan and your cash flow and your training, then you're launching your business. And for some people, what that looks like, it will be different. Some people are starting a brand new business that's going to have a storefront and it's a full-time focus. Other people maybe have an existing business, but maybe you jumped right into it and you realized, wow, I'm kind of struggling in a couple of areas because I didn't have these skills or I didn't have the business training and the supports to help me. So now maybe you kind of want to, you're already operational, but you want to back it up a bit so that you can learn more to be successful in growing your business. And there's no requirement in the program for the size or type of business that you have, sole proprietor or an incorporated business, like whatever model works well for you, but also could be a small side hustle, hobby business, right? If you're creating a product or items that you're selling a few times a year at your local markets, you'd be eligible for the program, right through to a part-time seasonal business or a full-time, model with storefront or working from home, offering services, whatever that looks like. So there is no kind of minimum requirement there on the type or size of business. It just has to be a for-profit business. And once you complete all of those programs, we've got some additional supports in place. So not only to congratulate you on completing and all of your hard work in the program, we also want to use, that opportunity is to continue to grow your business and your learning and apply and make sure that you have supports in place to keep the momentum going on your business. So what we do is you are eligible at completion for a $750 grant for additional business services that you can use towards bookkeeping services, learning more, getting things all set up for yourself and your business and your books. And you can use it for digital marketing services to get some social media content or get kind of a website landing page or some design work done, search engine optimization, whatever you feel would be most helpful for you at that time. Maybe some consulting services to learn more about AI and how it can benefit you in your small business. And also working maybe with a business coach to get some systems in place for business administration and organization and just get some processes for you now that you're up and running in your business. So we work with you to help figure out what would be most helpful for you at that time. We set up those services with you and we pay the service provider directly. So there's no out-of-pocket expenses for you. We arrange that and we're able to pay for those services to help you grow your business and continue to learn. We also have $600 available for business mentorship services. So we know that in entrepreneurship, mentors are a key factor of success and creating those solid networks of learning and sharing and growing with one another, because it can be, especially as a sole proprietor, sometimes lonely or feeling like you're the only person doing all the things. So that mentorship relationship can help. But I think sometimes now more than ever, it's hard to find a mentor who you're able to create that relationship with and keep it consistent, just because people have, not a lot of time, some time constraints. And so by building some funding into that mentorship relationship, we're able to pay the mentor to be able to work with you to provide that service. So you find a mentor, we can support you to connect with a mentor in whatever area you're wanting to continue your learning and skill development in as a business owner. And then we're able to pay them for that support that they're offering to you. So another added bonus once you finish the program to keep things going in your business. I'll just say too, I might answer any questions that are coming up, but please don't feel free to put some questions in the chat along the way if you do have some. So really, if you're thinking about whether this is a good fit for you or people that you're working with or someone you might have a friend or a neighbor, even if it's not quite the right fit for you, just also think about anyone else who might benefit and feel free to share the opportunity with them. So the ideal participant for this Business Builder program that is a structured 6-month program, it's for those who are ready to launch their business or activate plans for growth in their business within 6 months. And so basically, if you've been a seasoned entrepreneur and you've run several businesses for 20 years, and you could probably teach some of our business training sessions, this program is probably not the right fit for you, but that's okay. We'd be able to support you through our regular Community Futures and EDP services at your local office. So we can definitely help make those connections for you and offer you the support and service that would be best for you. But if it kind of is a fit that maybe you've been operational for a little while, but you're having some struggles and you would benefit from business training and the support to continue in your business and your self-employment journey, then it's likely a good fit for you. And we can chat more. And then also part of the criteria is that you do self-declare that you are a rural entrepreneur living with a health condition or a disability. And again, that's a very broad range of any type of disability related need or health condition. And you only share what you're comfortable sharing. And that's through that positive lens of the more we're able to know, the more supports that we're able to build in place for you. And I will send the link to our online application form because, as I mentioned, intake is open now and we do have a limited number of spots available. So if you are interested and you want to spark that conversation, I do encourage you to get your application in sooner rather than later, just so that we can get you in the queue and start those conversations with you. So sometimes people want to envision what that 6-month journey might look like, and it is different for everyone. And that timeline is kind of the maximum. We do have people that are finished the program a lot sooner just because maybe they're accelerating things in their plans and they've got the time to be able to dedicate on a more regular basis or on a more full-time basis to their business development and training, to people who are then also spreading it out over the 6 months because they've got lots of things on their plate. So whatever works well for you, but we do give you a 6-month timeline. So this is what the journey would look like. You start with your website application. All applications come directly to me through my email. So then I'm kind of your first point of contact. And I'll connect you with, we've got an intake consultant who spent some time getting to know people and learning more about you and your business idea, and if this is a good fit for you. And then if so, we move you forward through completing your intake forms. As a federally funded program, we do have paperwork and documentation that we do need to have completed as you're welcomed into the program. But we definitely support and accommodate you along the way. But patience is appreciated with that because we do require those things to get you up and running. Once all your paperwork is done, we send you for your vocational assessment, where then we learn more about you, how we can support you in the program, and then we meet with you to go over those areas, explore your action plan dates, and then you sign an agreement committing to your 6-month journey in the program. We're committing to the supports and services that we're offering to you, and you're ready to get started on your business training, working with us with your business plan development, and you go through the various training and group sessions and launch your business. And once you've launched, as I mentioned, you've successfully completed the program, you get a certificate and recognition. We also love to showcase and feature entrepreneurs who have finished the program, but also to help you market and promote your business and your services. So anyone that's open to that, we love to have those opportunities to showcase your success on our website and our social media pages and beyond. So we're always open to those opportunities. You'll complete program evaluations. It's really important for us to hear your feedback on your experience, and any recommendations helps us to make changes in the program. And we've used what entrepreneurs have shared with us to continue to evolve the program and enhance things so that we can make the biggest impact in a positive way for as many people as possible. So, and the funder is listening. We've been able to have some of that, ability to make some of those great changes to the program. So we welcome your feedback. And again, then you have access to that $750 in additional business services and that business mentorship for up to $600. And then just because you finish the program doesn't mean you're done with us. We're always here for you for the life of your business. So as your operational things change, or you have questions, or you need support, we've got lots of training, ongoing resources, and things available to you at any time. So this is almost, I see this as when your journey begins, really, and where you can go from there as you get springboarded after you launch. So it doesn't end there. I will be sending information to everyone in the follow-up email, but we've got great tools and resources on our websites. So I'll send you the links, but we do have a small business startup checklist, which is a great tool to kind of help kind of give you an overview and check on all the things that would be involved in starting your new business, maybe some things you've already done and started thinking about, but maybe things you didn't realize were tasks that you might want to add to your to-do list and plan for. And we've also got that business plan workbook, which is so helpful because, as I mentioned, it can take that sometimes feeling overwhelming task, daunting of developing that business plan, but breaking it into smaller sections. So then you're just funneling all of your big vision and your ideas into a structured format to be able to then pull it into your formal business plan. And sometimes there's a bit of a misconception out there that you only need a formal business plan and cash flow projections if you're planning to apply for a business loan or any type of financing for your business. But we really do recommend it for all entrepreneurs and any size business. So you might have a very basic, not too complex business plan if you've got a small side hustle business, but it really is that guiding vision for you and your business to look at, what am I doing now? What am I offering? Having that dedicated plan to help you with that vision to move forward, that you can also evolve and adapt and change as things continue to grow in your business. It's a really valuable tool. So, and we had one entrepreneur say, this is the most useful piece of information, of useless information that I've ever had, because she kind of felt the same way, that like, why do I need to do this? But she has continued to refer back to it and have it as her kind of solid foundation as she continues to kind of revisit and realign and refocus her business. So if you put it that way, it might be your most useless feeling useful piece of information that you have, but we do recommend it for all people. And it's so helpful for you in your cash flow projections as well, because you need to know, how are you making profits? What does that actually look like? Understanding that. And a lot of entrepreneurs get into entrepreneurship because maybe you've got a skill that you're really good at it and you want to share it with the world, or you're developing a product or something that you really want to bring to the world, and you're so good at it and you've got skills in those areas. But when you're an entrepreneur, you have to do all the things. So you want to make sure that you are maximizing on your impact, both in purpose and with people, your customers, and for yourself, but also profits, right? Because you want to have that opportunity to sustain yourself financially, but also to be able to reinvest into your business and grow it, to expand and have more of an impact. So it is really important, and those are tools that are going to help you do that. So here's just a quick overview. I like this visual to kind of just show you the different modules that are involved in that Build a Better Business program. So here are the 10 learning modules. I'll send you the links in the follow-up email so that if you're interested, you create an account for yourself. You log in whenever it works well for you. So if you're wide awake at 2 a.m. for some unknown reason and you want to geek out on bookkeeping basics, then you can do that. So it's really flexible to your schedule and what works well for you. And each module has a video to watch, and there's a manual and a workbook that you can refer to and make some notes to help you in all of these different areas. It's also helpful. Some people go through and complete all of the modules, but also if you're just kind of looking at some of these topics, maybe you've got a lot of experience or knowledge in one or more areas, but maybe there's, ooh, you know what? I'm starting to grow my business, or I'm thinking about what would it look like if I hired staff. Well, maybe you want to log in and just go through that human resources module to learn a bit more, right? And get some direction in that area. So you can also pick and choose what works well for you if you're just looking for that training opportunity. But this is available to anyone. You don't have to be a participant in the Business Builder program, but this is one of the training components if you were participating in the program, that you would complete all of these modules. Just a quick overview. We've got amazing training and events that happen across both provinces and various offices. And so our websites have a training and events calendar and also an event listing. So I do encourage everyone, based on where you live, check out the events going on. A lot of the online events are free or very low cost, and they're not always restricted to only for people who live in the region of the office that's hosting the event. A lot of times they're open to anyone. So if you see anything that's of interest to you or you feel would benefit you, and you want to learn more, you could reach out or just register and see what happens. But usually they're available to anybody. We also are on Facebook, so you can find us here, EDP, Entrepreneurs with Disabilities Program, Community Futures. And on Instagram, we are rural business underscore MB underscore SK. We all like to post and promote different opportunities, but also showcasing entrepreneurs that we've worked with and different things like that. So our success stories. So just before we kind of pause for questions and group discussion, I'll just kind of share a couple of opportunities and examples of how the Business Builder program and our services might be a great fit for someone. So first, I'll introduce you to Cassie. She's a creative person with a flair for making TikTok reels and social media posts. She's had some work experiences in school, but hasn't held a job yet. She's helped a few friends and family members with their business pages, and she's excited to try to develop this into a home-based business. She's looking to apply for a loan so she can purchase some equipment and software programs for startup. She's ready to develop her formal business plan and officially launch her business by summer of 2026. So this is fantastic for Cassie. She's developed her own self-employment plan and great impact on the community and other business owners for receiving her services, and a positive impact on the economy. Triple win. And here we have Clint. Clint has a passion for health. He's completed training to become certified as a yoga teacher. He has casually started teaching yoga classes for seniors at his community center. He's ready to formalize his yoga teaching practice and develop his business plan to provide restorative yoga for seniors and officially launch his business by fall of 2026. So what an incredible opportunity for Clint to have a self-employment journey and earn an income doing something that he loves and is really good at and fits into his current lifestyle. Excellent impact on the community and seniors benefiting from the services that he's bringing to the community, and also positive impact on the economy. And our last example here is Tyson. Tyson's a carpenter. He's got 10 years experience. He's been running his own business because that gives him better control of his working hours, more flexible, so that he can manage his health condition. He's ready to expand his business and plans to build a bigger shop with more storage. Community Futures can help review his financials, assist with updating his business plan to seek financing, and may provide assistance on referrals for disability or health-related organizations that also may assist him. Tyson's amazing opportunity to continue in his self-employment and grow his impact on the community and offering his services, and a positive economic impact. So what's next? So as Community Futures, we provide support to rural entrepreneurs. So what that means in Manitoba, that is for anybody living outside of the city of Winnipeg. If you're joining us today and you do live in Winnipeg, there is an EDP Winnipeg program. So I could connect you and refer. You could just reply to my email in the follow-up after the session, and I can gladly connect you to them. We also have in Regina and Saskatoon, so anyone for living in Regina and Saskatoon in Saskatchewan, we have EDP services in both of those cities, so I can help make a connection and a referral for you there. But anybody living outside in rural areas, outside of Winnipeg and Manitoba, and outside of Regina and Saskatoon in Saskatchewan, you would be eligible for our services through both Community Futures and EDP, and particularly the Business Builder program. And just a side note, we do sometimes have a case where we have an individual who maybe lives in an urban setting, so either Winnipeg, Regina, or Saskatoon, but they're planning on operating their business in a rural community. If your business is going to be operating out of a rural community, then you would qualify for our services. So sometimes there is a little bit of that gray area. So if you're in a scenario that you're not quite sure, then just send me a message and I'll help you navigate that and plan for the best support. Okay, so you would have gotten my email address in the direct email was sent with the link today, but just in case you wanted to have it here available to you, and you'll also have it in the follow-up email. That's Stephanie Den Hollander, so sdenhollander@cfmanitoba.ca. Our program manager is Susan Bader, and her email is edpinfo@mymts.net. I've got our provincial websites linked here that will also be in the follow-up manual email, but that's cfmanitoba.ca and cfsask.ca for lots of great resources in finding your local office. I also want to acknowledge that the Business Builder program is funded by the Government of Canada's Opportunities Fund for Persons with Disabilities. So we are very grateful for their ongoing and continued support of this program and the opportunity to offer this information to you. And hopefully, if you feel it's a good fit, we're going to receive your application. So I will just stop the slideshow now and the recording, and then I'll open it up to questions and see if there's anything in the chat or if anyone wanted to kind of share their thoughts.